The information on this YouTube channel is not intended or implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. All content, including text, graphics, images, and information contained on or available through this channel, is for general information purposes only. This channel makes no representation and assumes no responsibility for the accuracy of information on or available through this channel, and such information is subject to change without notice. You are encouraged to confirm any information obtained from or through this channel with other sources and review all information regarding any medical condition or treatment with your physician.
What's going on, guys? Pistol Packing Pilot back with another video. We have a brand new poll from Rasmussen, and we're going to go through it. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so we have a poll that has been done by Rasmussen from March 31st. It's essentially virus deaths versus vaccine deaths. And I'm sure this video will probably get demonetized because I'm saying the V word. I really don't give a flying fuck. The poll basically states that nearly as many Americans believe someone close to them died from side effects of the COVID-19 vaccine as died from the disease itself. Let's go through this, and I will link the poll right down there in the video description. The latest Rasmussen report found that 11% of American adults say a member of their household died from COVID-19, while 86% answer no. However, here's the interesting part. 10% say a member of their household has died whose death they think has been caused by side effects of the COVID-19 vaccine, while 85% say they don't believe that to be the case. So let's stop right there and let's think about that for a second. There's essentially, what, Mrs. Triple P, like 350 million Americans in the United States?
Sounds about right.
10% of 350 million Americans would be 35 million, right, Mrs. Triple P?
I like your math, Triple P. Keep on going.
So 35 million suspected early departures from taking the Kool-Aid. Let's take this one step further, and then we'll go through the data in the poll. Let's suppose that only 10% of those 35 million were actually caused by side effects of the Kool-Aid. I'm really dumbing it down here. Let's suppose that only 10% of that 35 million were actually legitimately from the Kool-Aid. That brings us down to 3.5 million. Is my math still working, Mrs. Triple P?
I guess.
I gotta ask her because she's the one with the fucking master's degree, not me.
Oh, that's so nice of you, but I can't do math in my head.
Let's go through the data. These findings come at a time when overall concern about COVID-19 is clearly on the decline. 48% of Americans are less concerned about COVID-19 than they were a year ago, compared to 20% who say they're more concerned. 31% say their concern about COVID-19 has not changed much in the past year.
That's me.
You had zero concern about it a year ago anyways, and so did I. So I guess we're in the same boat. The survey of 1,078 American adults was conducted on March 27th through March 29th, 2023 by Rasmussen Reports. The margin of sampling error is plus or minus 3 percentage points with a 95% level of confidence. More Democrats, 16%, than Republicans, 12%, or those not affiliated with either major party, 6%, say that a member of their household has died from COVID-19. More Republicans, 15%, than Democrats, 13%, or the unaffiliated, 5%, say a member of their household has died whose death they think may have been caused by side effects of the Kool-Aid. That's only a 2% margin there between Democrats and Republicans. It doesn't really seem to be partisan, does it? 55% of Republicans, 43% of Democrats, and 45% of the unaffiliated are less concerned about COVID-19 than they were a year ago. 31% of Democrats, 17% of Republicans, and 13% of the unaffiliated are more concerned about COVID-19 than they were a year ago. And this poll goes through all these percentages, and it breaks it down based on income of how much concern Americans with annual incomes over $100,000 and under $100,000. And then it breaks it down by race with whites versus blacks versus other minorities. I'm not going to go through all of that. You can go down there, click on the poll, and you can read it for yourself. We all know Rasmussen is viewed by both Democrats and Republicans to be fairly credible. So this is a poll that many Americans should be taking a second look at. And then the poll at the very end reiterates the fact that we are now 3 years after 15 days to slow the spread. That's kind of an epic statement there. But I think the big deal with this poll, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that 10% of all Americans think they know somebody, they have a family member, they have a friend, or somebody that they believe has been killed by the Kool-Aid. 350 million people, and I'm shooting off the cuff here. If I'm wrong about the population in the United States, please drop me a comment in the comments and correct me. But I think we're about 350 million Americans in the United States, give or take. 10% would be 35 million. If 10% have really died from that, that's 35 million Americans dead from taking the Kool-Aid. But I have taken it one step further because we all claim that there's been somebody that we know that has probably died from the Kool-Aid. I believe I know 3 people who have died from the Kool-Aid. If I take that claim of 10% and I say only 10% of that 10% are legitimately true, that's still 3.5 million Americans that got Fauci'd. The ouchie from Fauci that just keeps on giving. I have to put this in the video or YouTube is gonna spank me again. This is not medical advice.
You're just a stupid bus driver!
Mrs. Triple P called it perfectly. I have no idea what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. I am the pistol packing pilot. And I am out. See ya!